Yeah.
Yeah. So sweet. 2019.
Deli sliced turkey.
Hyundai.
Anzej.
I'd slap somebody if I saw that.
Because I'm right.
Anzej.
Can I ask you a deeply personal question?
I'll choose crying.
Grocery getter.
Ben goes first, damn it.
Blorp it out whole right onto a plate.
Original continuity Jarhigo.
Anzej.
Egregious.
Coupon code vest.
Jarhigo just got his shit pushed in.
Broadcasting live from definitely outside the power band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, a.k.a. Mulvey, along with the intrepid Prototrope, also known as Ben.
Yo, yo.
And the amazing Algorithm, also known as Chad.
What's up?
Folks, fidget spinners, Buick canceling the GS, Trump, frozen dolls, packs of gum. What are your favorite things from 2019? This week on the podcast, we're going to be talking about our top 5 things of 2019. And there were no rules for this particular topic. Anything goes. So we each wrote a list of our 5 favorite things, and we are going to share them with you, the audience, right now. I'm excited to do this. I was excited when you suggested it. I think that I'm excited to hear what your guys' top 5 is, and I'm also excited to talk about things that are like totally unrelated to science fiction films and all that nonsense.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also worth like doing it in the early bit of this year because we kind of needed to wrap up last year and make sure we weren't missing any random Indiana Jones stuff sneaking under the door.
No, we definitely can't have random Indiana Jones sneaking under the door. That Indy, man, he's sneaky.
I'll get you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, Peter, I'm going to have to ask you to go ahead and wake up early on Sunday morning.
Well done.
I'm going to need those TPS reports by 5, okay? Sweet. 2019. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
And I really, between moving out of my home of 17 years and moving into a new space, it sort of threw a giant wrench into my year. Definitely tough. So pulling together things for favorites of 2019 has been a bit of a challenge for me, and I'm afraid that I'm probably totally missing something great.
I'm afraid of that too, yeah.
But I do, however, have 5 pretty amazing things in front of me. So despite all of the trouble of the year, I've found some pretty great shit. I'm going to start off with something that totally fucking Indiana Jones under the door at the very, very end of the year here, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it's something something we've been talking about at work a lot, and it's just sort of been in the air lately for me. And it is the Witcher TV series on Netflix.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. I'm very interested in watching that.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Henry Cavill is... I mean, I played the game, which, was CD Projekt Red is just a great studio, and I'm not particularly into fantasy games, but it was such the game of the year, and it was so well reviewed that I just had to give it a try, and I ended up enjoying it immensely.
And quickly, Ben, you're talking about Witcher 3, right?
Yeah, The Witcher 3, yes. Sorry, there is a whole series there's of games, but The Witcher 3. And so, man, Henry Cavill's portrayal of Geralt of Rivia is just outstanding. He's really, really good.
Wow. Well, he's a really great actor.
Yeah. Yeah, and his my God, the action sequence. I mean, he's doing all of his own stunts in this, so the action sequences are just like totally up on par with like John Wick stuff. Really great filming, great casting all around. Really, awesome series.
That's cool.
Wow.
Very happy to have checked it out.
Good pick, Ben.
Yeah, I saw the autoplay ad on Netflix the other day for it, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks interesting." I haven't heard of it before or seen it at all yet, but that definitely has me ready to go.
I remember when The Witcher 3 came out, and I kept reading so many things about it, and I was really curious about it. And then, of course, it was too far down the list of like games that I actually really wanted to play. So I didn't get the chance to, but I was really curious about it. And then when I saw that there was a Netflix series a couple of weeks ago, and I started hearing a bunch of buzz about it, I got really excited. And it's kind of ironic that right before the show, Chad and I were talking about the rough outline of the schedule. And now I'm thinking we need to watch this and throw it into the mix like ASAP.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it too much in case we do decide to talk about it. I think we should. I think there's probably some listeners out there that would love us to get into it. So I'm not going to get into it too much. I guess it's worth just noting that the video game series itself, and of course the TV show, is based on a series of books by a Polish author. And I'm not even going to try to say his name because I'm going to completely blow it. Oh my God. I'm looking at them now and I like,
No, you should just say them and then figure out how to say them.
Okay. So his name is Andrzej Sapkowski. It's Andrzej. Sapkowski is easy enough, but I don't know how you say Andrzej. Andrzej. I've never seen an R before a Z before.
That sounds like a pretty good shot, man.
That is a good shot. It may just be Andre, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's what it would be here, but anyways, it's worth giving it a try, I guess.
Oh, you did good, man. Good stab.
Yeah.
Apologies to all of our Polish listeners, but that was a good shot.
So anyways, I'm sure there's a lot I'm leaving out here, but I don't really want to get into it as we are probably going to watch it.
Yeah, no, don't get into it at all, man. No spoilers. I want to check it out. That sounds great.
Cool.
Yeah, it does sound good. I'm excited about that show. And I love Henry Cavill. I thought Man of Steel was so good. I've mentioned that numerous times on this show. We
need to have a fight about that someday.
Yeah, we should have a fight about that because I'm right. So here's the thing, man. This is what I was actually afraid of, was that when we started doing the top 5 lists, somebody would either mention something that I would go, oh my God, yes, I totally forgot about that. That should be on my list. Or it would jog my memory to something else that was super cool that I really liked from 2019. And that just happened with Jar Higo. I might have to expand the list by a factor of 1 or make a very difficult decision and replace something. And I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to start off just with my regular lists. And I put at the top of my list is Hyundai, the car company.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right.
Hyundai, or I had this Korean woman that I met who literally never stopped talking the entire time I was with her. And she assured me of the proper pronunciation of Hyundai. And it's Hyundai.
There you go.
In Korean.
Now we know.
Which is great. But I'm a huge Hyundai fan. And we have owned 3. We currently own 1. It's a really good car company. And they, this year, absolutely crushed it. And I was stoked with some of the products that they came out with. They took their little sports car that was sort of doing nothing. I mean, the people out there in EBD universe land don't really know that I really like cars a lot. And actually, Jar Higo likes cars a lot too, but we never really talk about that. So
I do.
They took the Veloster, which was a great sports car. I actually owned one. I owned the turbo 6-speed manual, and they came out with a new, high performance division in the company called the N division. And they actually stole Albert Biermann, who used to run BMW's M division, and they brought him in to start doing some tuning on the cars. And they released a Veloster N version of the Veloster. And the thing is an absolute monster of a car, great horsepower, great speed, great handling. It will not destroy your wallet. It's a hot little car, and it immediately started doing great, and people loved it. And I was really psyched to see that from a company like Hyundai. So I, of course, wasn't able to purchase that car when the lease on my regular Veloster was up because I had to get a minivan to tote all of my children around.
Grocery getter.
Which was a little disappointing. But that being said, they didn't just kill it with the Veloster N. They're coming out with a bunch of sort of N-line versions of cars that are somewhere between performance and the regular version. And then they're also going to be coming out with a whole line of N-division cars and even some of the SUVs. So I'm really excited about that. Hyundai also released their new large SUV this year, which was very interesting to me as I do have many children. And that was the Palisade. And the thing was absolutely gorgeous, man. Like the design, they took elements from all over the place and just made a really great, spacious 3-row truck that is also taking off as well. And that came out at the same time as the Kia Telluride, and they're built on the same platform, but there's sort of some differences between the two of them. So that was something that I was definitely stoked about. And as a car enthusiast and a person that drives constantly and is constantly wondering about new and better ways to haul carcasses around, that was definitely on my top 5 list. Not number one. Again, my list has no order of greatness, but that was definitely up there for me.
Sweet. I never knew you were a Hyundai nerd.
I forget what model it was, but I ended up with a Hyundai as a rental car. I think at some point last year, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed driving that car. I wish I could remember what model it was, but it was definitely one of my top rentals. I had a great time driving that car.
Yeah, really good stuff, man. I'm not surprised to hear you say that, Ben. It was probably an Elantra or something like that.
You know what? I think you're right. I think that is what it was.
So anyway, that's my number one pick. All right, Chad, now it's your turn.
So mine is not about cars, nor is it about Netflix. Mine is, Benny, you've got the assist on this one. I looked at my Spotify for the year, and 9 of my top 10 most played songs were from the Prospect soundtrack.
Oh,
wow.
So Prospect soundtrack is my number 5 for the year. I really enjoyed listening to that.
Interesting. Okay. I'm down with that, man. I love soundtracks and scores, man. I have since I was a kid.
Yeah, for sure. It was just funny to me that, I mean, I guess kind of every year it ends up that way. I think last year it was the Daft Punk Tron Legacy soundtrack, where like, if I need to get something done, I'll just put on something like that and single repeat the entire album and just smash through work. So I think that was Prospect for me.
Wow. Very cool pick, man. And Tron Legacy is a great album as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I almost never listen to soundtracks outside of movies. Occasionally I do, but it's not something I do a lot for whatever reason. I probably should, but I just don't.
I don't know if you dudes have Spotify or a Spotify equivalent, but I thought it would be fun to share the top 10 songs of the year that you played the most for maybe the audience in terms of like a YouTube playlist or something.
Oh, yes, I will definitely do that. I would love to do that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see what...
Google probably have something like that.
They must, yeah. I don't know. I never engage in that functionality, but I'm sure there is something there.
Round robin, back to Benny.
And back to Jarhigo.
Groovy. Well, Chad.
Well...
I'm inclined to keep it in the. By the way, this is not in any particular order of these things. This is just a list of 5 things. Not a one isn't more important than number 5. But in keeping with the music theme, Chad, one of my top 5s for this year is the album Empath by Devin Townsend. That's it.
Sweet. I don't know Devin Townsend overly well.
Yeah, who's Devin Townsend?
Okay, so Devin Townsend is a really talented singer, guitarist. I think the first time I remember hearing about him, a long time ago, Steve Vai had a band with like a singer, and like they were writing songs, and Devin Townsend was playing guitar and singing in that band. And then since then, he's done a bunch of other things. He was in a metal band, like a really ridiculously heavy metal band called Strapping Young Lads.
It's a great name.
Yeah. He has had the Devin Townsend Project for a while and has released a lot of great music with that. And this album is just himself solo, Devin Townsend. And it is all over the place. It's very, It's very progressive, but it ranges from like just shearing ridiculous metal to, like really melodic, pretty stuff. It's all over the place. It's really just like terrifically produced. And there's just some really fucking great music on it.
Sweet.
And found myself, if I can think of one album this year that stuck out at me, it's definitely that one. I mean, maybe we can insert some music. The first song released from it is called Genesis, and it's kind of representative of the entire album. It kind of gives you a little smattering of everything that might go on. So it might be a good place for people to start.
Sweet.
And it's just really good. May not be for everybody, but it's really good.
I noticed that the last song, I'm just checking out the Wikipedia, the last song, Singularity, is like 23-minute long, kind of like symphony almost. That's wild.
Yeah, it's definitely has very distinct movements and parts. And it's really great. There's just, I was listening to it on headphones like a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to Singularity, and there's just this amazing, like, it's, in the midst of it, I forget which movement it is, but there's this amazing like robo voice that comes in, and it's just like with headphones on, it's just like it just goes right through your fucking brain. It's amazing.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I'll check it out for sure, bro.
Yes, me too. Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, he's a really talented guy. I mean, he's not only is he an amazing player, but his voice is just, he's one of those guys that can do it all. Like he can go in one song from like screaming to like just, amazing singing, like all over the vocal range. I can't really think of anybody else that has a voice like that besides maybe like Mike Patton from Faith No More, where they can just do, where they're just really versatile, and can go from one thing to another in one song. And it's like, it doesn't seem to hurt them, or, like if he's screaming, he can go to singing, and it's not like the screaming fucked him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Good pick. I haven't even heard it, and that's a good pick. Jarhigo.
I just went.
What?
Yeah, he just went.
Oh, sorry. Original continuity, Jarhigo.
Mulvey. Oh, right. You used to call me Jarhigo, right?
That's my recovery.
Jarhigo just got his shit pushed in.
Oh, man. I forgot about that. Oh, that's funny, dude. Very funny. Okay, so my second pick is a music pick. And it's also, well, it's film and music. So here's the thing. I finally watched Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, anybody who's anybody, I don't care how old you are, you have heard Queen's music. Even when you think you haven't, you have heard their music, because they are such a diverse band and they play such a diverse range of styles. I still to this day have heard songs that I was like, oh my God, that's a Queen song? Like, I never would have thought it. Especially if the only thing you've ever heard is Bohemian Rhapsody, the song.
Right.
So I watched the film this year, and I was just blown away, man. I was blown away by the movie. I was definitely blown away by Rami Malek's portrayal of Freddie Mercury, man. It was really, really good. And I've watched it a couple of times already. I think the first time I watched it was just a month or two ago. And I, of course, knew who Queen was. I knew, some of their songs. Like, they have some absolutely iconic songs. They have a few that are just definitely overplayed, like We Will Rock You. But I never really got it until this year. And I'm so glad that I did, because I'm absolutely in love with this band now. And I'm in love with Freddie Mercury. Like, that guy is a monster musician.
Oh, totally.
He has got an incredible voice, the arrangements, the piano work, everything. He is nigh untouchable, man. He is one of those musicians, man, whose footprint on this world will echo through the ages, because he is just that good. And when I saw the movie, I finally got it. And then I just started listening to all kinds of Queen, and I was super into it. And I'll throw a track or two on my my top 10 playlist for sure. But they're just an incredible band. And it's funny how it goes. I think other people do this, but this is certainly how it happens with me. Is I'll just sort of skip over something that's huge and kind of mainstream, not for any particular reason at all, and then I'll discover it later on. I did the same thing with Black Sabbath. Like, I really got into the Ozzy years of Black Sabbath, like, I would say 10 years ago, and then I was totally hooked and I totally got it, and So it was really cool to discover Queen this year for me on a totally different level, man. And really have an appreciation for them as musicians and people. They were incredible. And not just Freddie, like all of them, because they all were incredible musicians and they all contributed to the overall sound and art that was happening when those guys were making music. And, you can say whatever you want about Adam Lambert, but I really think that it's cool that they chose him to go on tour with them, because they still tour all over the world. And Adam Lambert fills in for Freddie. And I've watched a couple of his performances, man, and he does a damn fine job, man. And I think Freddie Mercury would be proud of that, So that's it. That's my pick, man. That's my music pick.
Sweet. My only chime in on that is Queen is a really amazing band, and you're right, Rami Malek did a great job.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought Rami Malek was terrific. I've always been a Queen fan since way back. I remember hearing Bicycle and We Are the Champions, and seemed like those songs were really popular when I was a wee one. And they always resonated with me. And as a guitar player, I think oh my God, his name just went out the fucking window. Brian May.
Brian May.
Brian May is the tops, man. He's such a great player. I've always had a lot of admiration for him, and the band in general is just terrific. The amazing, gigantic, layered background vocals that they do, and
yeah.
And as you said, they're very versatile. You can go from A Crazy Little Thing Called Love to Another One Bites the Dust to Bohemian Rhapsody,
Fat Bottom Girls,
yeah, and it's all great, and it's all undoubtedly Queen too,
Totally, man. The last thing I'll say, Ben, that I'm sure will agree with, is that there is a level of passion that comes through their music, man. And at first I was going to say that it's all Freddie, but it's not all Freddie. But when he is singing, man, you can hear and feel the passion and the emotion of what he's trying to convey in the song. And it's really just a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. I'm glad the movie really featured their Live Aid performance.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because, seeing the original performance, man, it gives you fucking goosebumps,
Totally.
Freddie just has that audience eating out of his hand, It's amazing. It's so amazing.
Absolutely.
There's so many people, hearing everybody sing along with them, the call and answer stuff. It's just fucking unbelievable.
Oh, I know. So good, man. There's a great, I watched after I saw the film, there's a great side-by-side comparison, Rami Malek's versus the original of Live Aid. And we'll definitely throw that into the show notes, because that's a really cool video to watch. He absolutely nails every single little movement that Mercury does.
That's awesome. Slight curveball to close this out and to tie back into your Hyundai. I'm going to mispronounce that every time now. Choice. Ben, when you were talking about Brian May, I immediately pictured James May from Top Gear playing on with Queen, and I just wanted to throw that in there.
But tying back into the Prospect soundtrack thing, Queen is responsible for one of the best soundtracks ever made, and that is the soundtrack to Flash Gordon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, definitely. And we've actually used those snippets a couple times on this show for various different things.
Yep.
Really more in a comedy way.
Flash Gordon is so bad it's good. We got to do that someday.
Yeah, we definitely do. But I was insistent upon throwing the Flash bed track underneath the comment that I made about Kerry Russell's outfit in Rise of Papa Palpatine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, algorithm, you may proceed.
You may proceed.
All right, my next pick, it's a short story involving a Han Solo style smuggling operation.
Ooh.
So number 4 for me this year of my favoriteest things was having 2 cans of Ocean Spray cranberry sauce smuggled into Australia for my enjoyment.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Wow.
So...
Wow, just for Thanksgiving or just...
yeah, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Because it's summer over here in the holiday season, and it's a very confusing time for me being a former white Christmas convert. And
yes,
they do it totally differently over here. So I managed to get a bit of a smuggling thing going.
Wow, dude. Black Market Ocean Spray Cranberry Sauce ring. I like it, dude.
Yeah. And technically, because this is on the record and I might get in trouble for smuggling into Australia a la The Simpsons, my wife did it. So you can bust her.
There's nothing like throwing your wife under the bus.
No, wait. Was it jellied or was it the whole berry stuff? Straight jellied?
Yeah.
I love it.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one true cranberry sauce, and it is can-shaped, jellied Ocean Spray cranberry sauce.
Oh, yeah, dude.
No, I don't want any of your fruit chunks or any of your bullshit.
And it looks horrible, and it tastes great.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like something out of an Alastair Reynolds novel, but it's actually really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Yeah, and
right? I mean, come on, dude.
You gotta blurp it out of the can whole too. You know what I mean? You can't fuck around with trying to scoop the shit out. You gotta blurp it out whole right onto a plate and then like slice it like it's like a bologna or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like people that mash it all up, they should be hung because you can't do that. It's so bizarre, the whole experience. You have to slice it in can shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give cutting the can right down the middle once it's out and you get kind of half moon kind of shapes. Like I'm down with that too. But the smushing thing, I've never even heard of that. I'd slap somebody if I saw that.
I know. Me too.
So if you'll allow a slight cul-de-sac here, I want to just tell a very short Australian Christmas story where, as I mentioned, they do things differently here. It's always like cold meals because it's always hot as balls over here at that time. So you like go to the beach in the morning, which is nice.
Sure.
And then like you go for like a lunch and you sit outside and it's hot as hell and people eat cold food like cold ham, cold salads like potato salads, maybe like some shrimps on the Barbie, that kind of thing. And I just wasn't having it. Like I've
literally shrimps on the Barbie.
Yeah, literally shrimps on the Barbie. Like it's very common. And I wasn't having it. I was like, I've been here for like 7 years, and like 2 years in, I was like, I need to have like a hot Christmas dinner, you know? So
yeah.
I spoke up and was like, who's going to bring what? And, so we settled on, my mother-in-law is going to do the ham and I was going to do the turkey. And then my sister-in-law is like, no, I'll get the turkey. No worries. I'll get a turkey roll. It's like a stuffed turkey roll.
Ooh.
From this shop. Yeah, cool. No worries. So fast forward to Christmas Day and everyone's bringing what they're supposed to bring. And we get there and I say, hey, did everyone bring their stuff? And she's like, oh yeah, they didn't have the turkey roll. So I just got some other turkey. And I was like, yeah, right on. I was kind of grumpy about it, but I just kept my mouth shut because you know how it is.
I'm actually getting grumpy about it now, and I wasn't even involved. Go ahead.
Dude. So she pulls out the fucking turkey that she brought for Christmas dinner for me, for my fucking hot Christmas dinner. It was 2 slices of deli sliced turkey, and I will never forgive her. And
are you joking?
I am not joking, and it was the worst moment of my life that year.
The question is, was she joking?
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
I still hang shit on her for that one.
Wow.
Jesus. Wow, I would too, man. That is egregious.
At least there was ham.
So ever since then, I bring all my own shit to Christmas dinner.
Wow, great pick, man. I like that.
So diatribe done, smuggling operation also done, and it was fantastic. All right, Mulvey.
No, dude, you are just not right today. It's Ben goes first, damn it.
All right, Ben.
All right, so we've talked about this a little bit, but I imagine we're going to get into it at length here this time around. So my third pick is the return of City of Heroes.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Yes.
Like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah. Kevin and I had talked about this previously, and we decided that, because we're talking, this is a very old game, and obviously it didn't come out in 2019, but it returned in 2019. So
no, it's 100% legit.
It's totally legit.
Yeah, I think that is legit.
It was like headline news in 2019, man.
It was.
It definitely made headlines. Yes, it did. Internet headlines.
Yeah.
It was. And, this game is a huge part of Mulvey and I's lore as nerds.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is something we played endlessly back in the day when it was live. I don't even know if we should get into how many fucking alts we had on
way too many, dude.
Numerous servers and how many hours of our lives we spent, and
let's just say there were breakups.
Yeah, there was.
How many times 3 raindrops came down outside at work and we went, it's gonna rain. Probably go home and play City of Heroes.
Yeah, that happened a lot. That's exactly right.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
So can you guys, I never played it. I've seen people play it, but can you just briefly talk about what you enjoyed about it originally and then also whether that was recaptured with this?
Yeah, I was about to start talking about that. So just some pedigree information for the folks at home. The original game came out in 2005. It was by NCSoft, which is a Korean company. It went all the way to 2011 2011 is when I kind of stopped. And then 2012, I think in November is when they sunsetted the game. So they just all of a sudden decided that it wasn't, making money or it wasn't worth keeping around. And they just shuttered it. And it was really upsetting. And here's the thing. There's definitely, to answer your question, Chad, there's a nostalgia factor for Ben and I, obviously. But, the funny thing is that I'm running the same desktop that I ran when I played this game, 10 years ago. And the game is old. There's no question about it. But there's something about it that is so good. And it's a combination of the character creator, the content, and the community of people that make the whole experience great. And it's almost even better than it was before because now you don't have like younger players coming in that are just trying it out or people dipping in because it's like the latest MMO and they just want to like come in and like act like a jerk and then not play anymore. It's like these are like all the same players from before and they've all are now 10 years older. Many of them have children now. So it's an even better experience. And like Ben said, like we had like, just tens and tens of alts, where we would play these main characters, then you'd get an idea and you'd stay up for another 2 hours, like noodling around with some other concept that you had. And it was just so much fun to do, man. Like you could even do just what I said. You could get into the character creator and come up with a concept and work on that for 3 hours. And that would be your session for the day, So it was really, really great. And the community of people in City of Heroes was the best. Like I would always hear these stories about World of Warcraft and these other games where like, people were just horrible to other people and just like shitting all over them and just not being nice in general. And there's something about the City of Heroes community. Everybody was very helpful and very nice. They all acted really like heroes would. And it was just a really cool element to the whole experience. And that's why I loved it. And now, that's sort of back.
Yeah.
In an even better way. It's like there's just a small group, of people and it's like the best cream of the crop of the people that played before. And just for the folks at home who weren't paying attention to this, like what happened was there was a group of people called SCORE, the secret cabal of reverse engineers, and they reverse engineered the game code and they were playing the game in secret for years after it shut down. And then somebody was like, one of the people was like, felt that all of the people that really loved the game would be, really excited to play it. So he leaked it and now everybody's playing again. So that's my diatribe about that.
Benny, have you run into any people from back in the day that were like, oh shit, I used to hang out in the whatever that main square is or whatever?
I have
not run into anyone specifically, but if you sit around and talk to anybody for long enough, you'll find out that, oh yeah, I used to play on, my main used to be on Virtue and my character used to be this guy. And, like I think most of the people that are playing nowadays are vets, people that used to play.
Definitely.
Or maybe a better question is, have you been recognized with your mains?
I have not been recognized, no. But then again, I haven't really remade old characters. I've been more sticking to.
Okay, because you would have had to remake everything because none of that data was there, right?
None of it was there. No, you had to start over again.
Exactly. We had to start from scratch. Yeah. But I remade a couple, but gave them new sort of concepts and power sets. But there's a couple of my older names that are out there. And one in particular, this is like right when it started up. I remember I was on a pickup team one night, and this guy was like, "Hey man, I remember that name. Did you used to play on Pinnacle server?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had the same exact character, just different power sets." And he's like, "Oh, I went by this handle back then. Do you remember playing with me?" And turns out we played together all the time, and he was like a really cool guy.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, so it was really cool to reconnect with some old COH heads.
And Benny, what about you for the nostalgia versus whether it's recaptured and what you liked about it originally?
Well, I mean, it's an old game, and it's all, there's no like voice acting or, it's all just text based, but there's some like really interesting, kind of fun lore in the game and fun story arcs to play through. It's pretty basic. It's essentially some button mashing, but it's fun. It's a good time, and the animations and such are really great. I think what I always enjoyed about the game was the community, the stellar community, as Kev mentioned, people are just so nice and so creative and so fun. Half the fun of the game is just like if you just stand there for a minute and just watch the people that run by you and like the ridiculous characters they come up with. They're just, they're just incredible. Some of them are just like so funny, and some of them are just like, wow, that's really clever. I never would have thought of that,
Yes, I love that.
It's like there's just so much ridiculous pageantry in the game, and it's just it's just so much fun. I always enjoyed the creative aspect of the game, coming up with a concept and doing the best you can to sort of bring that concept to life. Even just like you have an idea for like a funny character that maybe you're never actually going to play, but you make it and bring it out just to like make your friends laugh,
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah. Some deep nerdery there, yeah.
I never played it, but I saw, some of you guys playing it. Like I was over the shoulder pre-Twitch streaming, like watching you guys play. And the character creation and the diversity of characters and stuff was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me want to shoot it over to the McElroys, Benny, and have them do a Monster Factory on it. You turned me on to that.
Ooh.
I'm surprised they haven't. Although the problem is like there's not a lot of, they tend to do a lot of stuff with like face sliders and like kind of breaking the game and making it like going way outside parameters, and there's not a whole hell of a lot of that. There's only so far you can go with sliders in it, but I'm sure they could. I mean, you can come up with some pretty awful stuff just by hitting like there's a random button in the character creator, and you will just get something that's like like half werewolf, half robot, half zombie, or a third of each werewolf, robot, and zombie in like, puke green and, neon pink. Like,
yeah, exactly. I love that.
For those that may not know, Benny turned me on to Monster Factory, which is the McElroy family, the guys that do My Brother and Me and The Adventure Zone and The Empty Bowl, and they just go into character creators and just make the worst ones ever. They've got a YouTube channel I'll put in the show notes. It's hilarious.
Did you guys see the adult kid cereal thing that I sent?
Dude, that keto cereal, like we've got to do something about that.
That was really funny, yeah.
I want to try it.
From the picture, it just looked like a bowl of like little bits of ground beef.
Like dog food.
Yeah, exactly. Dog food,
kibbles
sure.
and bits.
Hamburger Helper antibacterial. Which is a great old SNL clip.
God damn, dude. Oh, that is so funny, man.
The creepy hand. There should totally be a Hamburger Helper cereal, man. That creepy ass hand could sell the hell out of some cereal.
Yeah, good times. I just wanted to say this is a pretty good honorable mention about funny characters that you see in game, right? So a lot of people, everybody knows who the Wu-Tang Clan is, right? And
hell yeah.
Old Dirty Bastard. And there's a class of characters in City of Heroes called Blasters. Pretty self-explanatory what they do. I just saw this dude run by. It was like a couple weeks after I had started playing again, and it was the name of the character was Old Dirty Blaster. And I was like, man, that is so brilliant, man. Why did I not think of that?
I love it.
So at any rate, that's that.
City of Heroes for the win. I'm glad you guys. It doesn't surprise me that that's there, and I'd never once thought that you would have forgotten about it. Now that you've said it, but I completely forgot about it. So good pick.
Yeah, it's not like I play it every day, but it is fun. It's comforting knowing that it's there and that I can just pop in and like do a raid or pop in and run some missions or whatever. And yeah, it's fun. I'm happy it's back.
Yeah, Me too. I'm very happy it's back. My next one's short. I do have a game, but I'll save that for the next round. So since we did top 5 anything, this is another one that's outside our usual milieu, and it's I got this vest. I got this vest. I'm not gonna say where I got it from, but
it better be fleece.
No, it's not fleece, dude. There's a couple of things that make this one of my top 5 things. Okay.
Okay.
Firstly, it's a puffer vest. Secondly, it's got paneling on it. Thirdly, it has a white zipper.
That's awesome.
It's so 80s. I love the 80s-ness of it, like a la Stranger Things, what have you. It's just so 80s, and it is functionally sound. It's very warm. I wear it almost every day, and it is a $60 vest, and I got it at a insanely steep discount of $15. No, $12. So for all those reasons, that vest made my top 5 lists, and I love getting a wicked discount. This is probably like in the same line as Chad's cranberry sauce story. I love getting a wicked discount, especially on something that I really, really like. And it's also well made. And again, just the 80s-ness of it is, I can't express that enough. I might have to take a picture and throw it up for everybody.
Oh, it needs to be the show art, even if it's headless.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Is it like rainbow colored? Is it like the 80s style, like blue, yellow, and red, or with like, does it have like that sort of 80s ski vibe to it? Or
it does have that ski vibe. It's kind of like color blocked, so like it's a red vest.
Wait, before you say it, I want to tell you what I'm thinking, because I don't want you to spoil it. See, I'm thinking of the like Stranger Things shit brown vest with like the shoulder panels are like rainbow sprays, like Technicolor Dreamcoat style. And I know that's probably not what it is, but that's what I'm picturing.
That's a good one.
That is really sweet, and no, that's not what it is, but that would be sick. I seem to remember one of the kids wearing a white vest in Stranger Things that had some color panels on it, and maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but okay, so here's the reveal. This one it's red, white zippers on the pockets, white main zipper, and then right up on the chest, it's got black, like a kind of sky blue, and white panels, just 3. Boom, boom, boom.
That's awesome.
And it's just sweet. I love it. It's easily one of the best things I bought this year because it was so steeply discounted, and it's just awesome.
I think we might end up needing to do like a movie vests episode now, but
Ooh.
On the topic of vests.
Ooh.
It reminds me of when I was in high school, there was a group of people that were like, it's kind of like the cooler kind of kids, but not like the super cool kids. And they were nicknamed the Spanish Armada, and they would just like walk around in Patagonia vests and like smoke cigarettes like they were going out of style.
Nice, dude. I like that.
And the like de facto leader of the Spanish Armada was this dude Pat, and he had like a red Patagonia vest, and he would just chief huts all day, chief cigarettes all day, and rode around in a minivan. So I'm kind of picturing you as the new leader of the Spanish Armada with your coupon code vest and your new minivan.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
My coupon code vest.
I love how you're like a super couponer now with your grocery getter. It's great.
I am, dude. I love a good discount. It's you get hooked on it, man.
I love a good deal.
You do. You get hooked on it, kind of like lottery tickets or scratch tickets. Like you're just like you're searching for deals. Like my mom's philosophy was always, well, I had to buy it because it was such a good deal. You couldn't not buy it, And I remember she said that to me one time, and I was like, you are onto something there.
Totally. On the Ben 80s ski jacket style tip, I also picture you as Ned Flanders going skiing. So,
ooh, wow, okay,
because he's got like that like baby blue ski suit, and he's just like voguing around the place.
Totally, like those one-piece puffer suits.
Yeah. My mom and dad each had one. My mom had a canary yellow one, and my dad had like a blue one. My dad now dresses like a old Russian man, but at the time, he was quite stylish.
I like that.
My dad now dresses like Boris Yeltsin.
I like an old Russian guy.
Yeah.
What are you going for there? The Boris Yeltsin. Oh, right, of course.
Right.
I thought it was Gorbachev. That's great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that.
So, speaking of 80s tropes,
oh my God, here we go.
I am going to announce to the world that the number 3 best thing of this year was the Cybertruck. I'm kind of in love with it.
It is ridiculous. It is.
I love all the memes that have cropped up around it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I like that too.
I love a variety of things about it. I love that it's like trying to capture the cyberpunk thing. I love that like a bunch of nerds get out of the car dressed like cyberpunks from Grandma's Boy, and like they totally look like the dude from Grandma's Boy. I love that they have bulletproof glass windows that then broke. Like it was just a great all around experience.
Yeah, that was funny. The glass thing was funny.
And I would be remiss to not add it to my list.
Okay, I'm with that, dude. That's a good pick. I thought that thing was pretty cool. I would say if we ended up doing honorable mentions at the end of the list or whatever, I would throw the Rivian electric vehicle. That was a truck, and that thing is super cool and super innovative. That would be up there for me too. I thought that thing was really nice. I saw that thing up close at the Javits Center, the New York Auto Show this year, and it was really cool.
Sweet.
It's a little more classic truck than the Cybertruck is.
Definitely. The Cybertruck is like straight out of a Knight Rider episode. I mean, my God, dude, right? It's like you could see that thing being like the villain to Kit and Michael, you know?
Oh, totally.
Sorry, Michael Magnum.
Michael Magnum.
It's neat, but it definitely has that like sort of under-rendered look to it. Like, you know.
Oh, totally.
Like a vehicle that came off of like, you know, the fucking Sega Saturn or something. Like just.
Yes, dude. Sega Saturn.
No, it was in GoldenEye, man. Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy one just so I could 3D print Pierce Brosnan's head from GoldenEye and drive around with that on my head.
Nice, dude. Yes, I love that.
You know, I think I have to see one in person. I bet you it's a different story in person. It's hard to tell.
I'll bet it is too, yeah.
I guess the only other thing to throw out there is that maybe ballsy is too strong of a term because it's definitely going for the attention. Like it's trying to get attention by being quote unquote ballsy, but it is still pretty ballsy. Like to actually like put the design out.
Oh, no doubt. No, it's definitely forward thinking. Yeah, I get it. Totally.
And I guess it really captures the, like, why the hell aren't there any futuristic looking anything? It's 2020, for Christ's sake. Like, there needs to be way more futuristic looking stuff in our lives. And even if this is the beginning, the dam hopefully has broken.
Nobody's bold enough, dude. Only Elon is bold enough to do something like that.
Yeah. I'm not an Elon worshiper. I like the guy, generally speaking, in terms of what he does, but I'm definitely not a fanboy in terms of the frothy people. But go Cybertruck.
I definitely know what you mean about the Tesla acolytes. They're real. I get it. Like they're
there.
I see them driving around here all the time.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet cars.
There's just an attitude there. It goes like other people that drive certain other cars that I will not mention. So anyway, let's move on to Jar. He goes next pick. Hey.
Let's see, back into the gaming category here. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about Star Wars on the podcast this year. One thing we haven't talked about is Jedi Fallen Order, the game, which I had
how is that?
Really terrific time playing. It's great. I don't know if, it has the most replayability of any game, but self-contained, it's terrific. Really good saber combat and action, great story, really fun gameplay elements. Like there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of like Metroid Prime.
Ooh, good game.
Where like
I like that. Great game.
You know, as you develop new abilities, you can go back to old maps and access new areas, that kind of a thing.
Right. I like that.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
That was always in every Metroid game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, some pretty cool, like lightsaber customizability, and just, I had a lot of fun playing it. It's a joy to play that game.
It's awesome. Can I ask you a deeply personal question?
Why? Sure.
Oh boy.
What if you had to make your own lightsaber? What color would you choose?
Ooh, good question.
I'm digging yellow these days.
Yeah, I'm thinking yellow too, man. That Leia lightsaber was pretty legit.
I was actually going to say amber, but yeah, amber. I think like an amberish.
Did you know, Kev, that amber is the color of your energy?
Oh man, I can't wait to hear the music fading in for that.
Oh yeah, I'll see if I can get it like a dreamy kind of fading in and out and in and out.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
The only response would either be to break into song or cry. So you can take your pick.
I'll choose crying.
Okay. Amber, huh?
Yeah, I kind of like not like yellow, but like a little bit darker, like somewhere between orange and yellow would be my.
White would be kind of sick. I don't know if you could do white. It's the most cul-de-sac-y cul-de-sac ever.
Anyway, so yeah, wow, that's a good pick, Ben. There's been so many damn Star Wars games that have come out, and so I would say 70% of them were just awful and
abysmal.
Yeah, abysmal is probably better. So I haven't played too many that I loved.
This is a good one. It's definitely
okay.
They got it right this time. My only complaint about it really is that there's not enough of it. I think there could be more, but I'm sure there will be.
Yeah,
sequels or later further DLC content down the road. Yeah.
Well, I had a bunch of stuff on my radar, but as soon as COH came back out, I was all over that, and that's all I'm playing right now. But I'll use that as a segue because my next pick is a game, and it's a game I haven't played.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So they announced in January that Metro Exodus was coming out, and I was super stoked because there were two other Metro games. One came out in 2010, one 2013. First one was Metro 2033, and the next one was Metro Last Light. And they're based on a series of books by Dmitry Glutovsky. He's a Russian writer, and these are Russian games.
Cool.
And they're awesome.
Are the books any good?
It's first-person shooter. You know what? I want to read the books. I haven't read them, but I really want to read them and see what they're all about because I really dig the whole lore of the thing. So it's this sort of kind of post-apocalyptic situation. Everybody goes underground into the metro stations and the tunnels that are all over the Moscow area. And you have all these different factions that sort of have risen up, kind of vying for control. And then there's it's sort of the game is trying to figure out like what exactly happened, and there's some other mysteries going on. Like it's not just like a nuclear winter type of situation, but the surface, the streets in Moscow there's radiation everywhere. So like you have to have a breathing mask when you go up there, and you have to swap out the filters, and there's actually a mechanic to like wipe the frost off of your goggles on your mask so you can see. So there's a lot of cool little interesting things in there that are great. It's kind of like Resident Evil in that like, you're kind of scrounging for everything all the time. Like there's not just ammo everywhere. It's like, one of those types of situations. So you're constantly grubbing for resources and stuff. But they did a Redux version of these two games, and they released it as a bundle a couple years ago, and I snapped it up and played them both. They kind of tried to improve the graphics a little bit on both of them and kind of update them for the Xbox One, which is what I played them on. And they were just super fantastic and super fun. Great stories. I like seeing stuff like this come from studios that are in places like Russia because they tend to have a different take on stories, and they're not using, so many tropey things that we see in so many American movies and games, which I really like a lot. So they're really good. And then in February, they announced a sequel called Metro Exodus, and, for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 with, obviously completely updated graphics. And I'm super excited to play the game. I haven't gotten around to it. It was super pricey when it came out too, which is another reason I didn't get it. But it's definitely, if you're into first-person shooters and cool campaigns and adventures and definitely like cool lore, and it's all based on like novels that were written, definitely check that out.
I'm definitely into first-person shooters. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I've always been curious about those games, but I never dove in.
Yeah. I mean, if like, some people can't stand playing older games with like outdated graphics. I don't really care. I like cool stories, man. So like when you play 2033, it's definitely looks dated, but
whatever.
It's still fun as hell to play.
I like playing NES games, man. Fuck it. So speaking of Russia, my number 2.
Boy, your mail order bride from Russia, is that your number 2?
My mail order bride. Don't tell Emma. Chernobyl, man. Chernobyl. The HBO miniseries Chernobyl was absolutely fan-friggin-tastic.
Oh, yes.
It is so good, and they were able to make something that has so much tension, even though you know the outcome, and it is a fantastic show, and we should talk about it someday, maybe. But even if we don't talk about it, y'all need to watch it because it's so good.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that. I heard it was great. I don't have access to HBO at the moment, so yeah, I haven't watched it, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. And there was I do know that some of the writers for that were from something else that is beloved. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah, Craig Mazin is the writer, and he's known for The Hangover Part 2 and 3.
Oh, of course.
Oh, that's what it was.
And like Scary Movie 3, and then the dude pulls this thing out of his hat. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, really, really, really cool stuff. Good pick, man.
Cool.
I'm going to check that out today.
Do it. It's good.
Wow. Look at Jarhigo, man. I love it.
Yeah.
He's on point. Oh, that's a good pick, man. So here we are, guys. We're at number 5.
Yes.
In the number 5 pick of 2019, Jarhigo.
This one should be fun for us, because we didn't exhaust everything there was to say about it in our podcast about it. My last pick is The Boys. I'm being slightly sarcastic there. My last pick is The Boys.
Nice.
Great pick. Yes. Excellent show.
I'm with you all the way. It's my number 1 show of the year for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny. I didn't even think to include anything that we talked about here on the show, but yeah, that would be on some list of mine for sure. That was an excellent show.
I mean, we've talked about it.
And if you want to hear 3 hours worth of it, you can go back and download the episodes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. And you can see the best part of The Boys was, of course, Carl Urban.
The legend.
It's always Carl Urban.
Just like he was the best part of Ragnarok and 2009 Star Trek as well.
Yeah. Chronicles of Riddick.
Yes. And just as a quick teaser for the folks at home, we are doing I think I've mentioned it on the air. We're going to be doing a Carl Urban extravaganza coming up here in 2020. I don't know when, but
we have no idea how we're going to format it, but we're going to do a hell of a Carl Urban show.
We are going to do it. Yeah, we're going to rock that out because he's a big favorite here on the show.
We're actually going to have Carl Urban on the show.
Reviewing his movies.
Oh my God, yes. Ben gave it away, but here we are. He's going to be on the show.
Yeah. We're actually not going to be on the show. It's going to be Carl Urban with his co-hosts, his 2 M16s.
There you go.
Carl Urban is going to do a critique of the podcast.
Ooh.
Oh, man. That is an idea right there.
I might have died when I said the 2 M16s bit, by the way.
You did.
I chuckled.
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Only death so far. Actually, my Dodge story was a bit of a death. We're gonna have to get rid of that too.
now we're gonna keep it in.
Now we have to keep it in.
That's what we always do. All right, so we're moving on, or do we want to talk about The Boys a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. We like I said, we've talked about it at great length in the podcast we did on the show, but it definitely was one of my favorites of the year.
No doubt,
man. That was definitely a good show. That was a real nice surprise, nice treat. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's worth, I'm glad you brought it up and chose something from earlier in the year, because now that we've seen everything, it still holds up as rock solid. I was very curious if something like a Watchmen or a Star Wars or whatever would surpass it. And in my view, it's not. Yeah, it hasn't been surpassed.
No, there's been some great TV this year, but I don't think anything surpassed Boys. It was just really, really good.
I think we all agreed when we talked about other shows that we were having conversations about that none of them still touched The Boys. Like The Boys was still the tip of the top. Watchmen, Mandalorian, all that.
Definitely. Good pick.
Definitely.
I like it. Good pick, Benny.
Yeah, really good pick, man. Okay. So my final pick is a piece of technology, and it is a
It's Bali.
4-letter word. It's not Bali, Ben. I just watched Mr. Mobile. I just watched that this morning. Mr. Mobile's CES coverage. If anybody that's interested in tech or Mr. Mobile, Michael Fisher, check that out. He just came out with his best of CES video.
Oh, nice. I'm going to watch that.
CS is such a weird thing.
It is so weird. And he talks about Bali, but there was a pretty cool concept car by Mercedes that he was talking about in there as well.
Was that the Avatar one or whatever with fucking gills?
Yes, it's literally called the Avatar. And it's not...
It's so dumb.
It's not as dumb as you... Like, it's definitely cool and futuristic.
No, I mean, it looks all right. It's just like the mashup is funny.
The whole mashup with Avatar is like so... I mean, it's like, when are we coming to go see these sequels,
right?
Dude? Like, the original movie came out in 2009, for Christ's sake. It's like, come on.
I think one's coming out this year, maybe the next year. I don't know. Whatever. Dances with Wolves, bro.
I already don't care. Anyway, so my final pick is it's not even a 4-letter word. It's 4 letters. LG G8. Okay, I switched to T-Mobile this year. Got myself a new phone. So when Windows Phone died, I switched over to Android and I started using LG's V10 because I wanted something with great camera, and I was really attracted to the quad DAC that's in that phone. So LG and its subsequent phones in the G line and in the V line, they have put this quad DAC in, and they have really good cameras. So I got the V20 next, and then when it came time to switch to T-Mobile, I got the G8, which is not quite as feature-rich as the V series. They're sort of touted more as content creators phones, but they're still awesome nonetheless. So I got the G8, which is a little bit smaller. I was psyched to go down in size, actually, because I've had some big phones the last few years.
Interesting.
And the thing is, like, people were kind of naysaying, like, they had this new thing called Air Motion where you could kind of like hover your hand and control certain things. And they were saying like, oh, that was kind of lame, whatever, the phone's kind of blah. But the thing is so rock solid, man. Like, I don't really care about the air gestures. I just want the DAC and the camera, and I want a phone that's snappy and quick, and I want it to work. And I don't want the battery to shit the bed in like a month. So I got this phone, and it has performed beautifully. It takes incredible pictures. It has that quad DAC, which is fantastic for listening to music. And I even when I play music in the car, I turn the DAC on and I run it through the car speakers, and it makes it even better in the car. So it's just fantastic, man. I can't say enough good things about this phone, and I absolutely love it. And after a string of phones that I always seem to have like, some complaint about, or there was this drawback, or the battery was terrible, like this phone is just great. Can't recommend it strongly enough, and I absolutely love it.
Sweet. I've got nothing to say about Android phones, but I'm very curious. I would like to try an Android phone at some point, but I just have not gotten around to it.
LG's an interesting company. They're kind of strange. And, here it is, another Korean company. I'm like a big, like Mr. Korea over here, but with the cars and the phones. But they're like, they make good stuff. Like they make some interesting, bold choices when they come out with new phones, but they seem kind of terrible at marketing them. And I think that's why they haven't done as great, I don't know.
Samsung spends like bajillions of dollars on their marketing, so that could be a factor too.
Yeah, that's another Korean company. Yeah. So at any rate, I'm a fan of their products, man. They make some good stuff. I've got a couple of LG items, even in the house. I have one of their dishwashers. It's pretty good.
Sick.
Yeah, I had a LG G3. I think back in the day, it was kind of a funny phone because it had a 4K screen, but there was like virtually no 4K content at that
time. Super early.
Like way too early, yeah.
Yeah. But which kind of like gave it not the most terrific battery life. But it was a solid phone. It was, and I feel I'm having a hard time remembering, but I think that was like the beginning of my hatred for manufacturers' bloatware all over Android.
Yes.
And I feel like LG wasn't super duper heavy duty on that shit. Like they were one of the lighter duty bloatware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were better, Ben, but now it's funny because like so many companies have gone to Android One, and LG still like has their own skin, and it's okay. I mean, it works all right, but I would say they probably have more bloatware now than most people, but it's not terrible.
But I mean, I was interesting. You were saying downsizing because I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I had the V20 was absolutely massive, and it was great. I mean, the thing was a total flat screen TV, but like going back down to size, like I have small hands, and going back down to something a little bit more manageable was just really, really great.
Good pick, brah.
Really like it a lot. Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, are you guys ready for the best pick of 2019?
Oh my God, yes we are, Chad.
So my number one pick for 2019, I will be so bold as to say, is about to become the first official holiday of In This Episode Everybody Dies.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you guys saw this when it crossed the transom a couple weeks back, but as of now, we do not celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Brucemas. Did you guys see this Reddit thread?
No, I did not.
Benny?
No, I did not. Nope.
Okay, perfect.
And what did you say, Brucemas?
I said Brucemas. Two fine young gentlemen for the past 10 years have celebrated Brucemas, which is Bruce Willis Christmas, and they give each other Bruce Willis themed gifts.
Oh.
And this year, one of the guys got Bruce Willis to take a picture and write it out to this guy and send it to him, and it blew up on Reddit and is the best goddamn thing ever. And because we are huge Bruno fans, I propose that we celebrate Brucemas now instead of Christmas every year.
I think that is a great idea. I think that is a great pick for the final item in our collective lists. And yeah, my God. Wow. I'm blown away.
Oh my God, I am so in, man. I am so in.
That is so not what I thought was coming out of your mouth.
We got to drink Barefoot Brunos all day.
Definitely, dude.
That is the first official gift of Brucemas, while belated, is I might have spent 11 hours doing this, but I have completed the Barefoot Bruno marketing materials, and I'm going to send them to you now.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Oh my God. Wow.
So
I can't wait to see this.
let's see. Give me a second.
Oh my God. I love that picture, man, of him in that Christmas blazer. That's great.
Yeah, totally. So the first of 3 marketing images that the design team put together in the marketing of the new Barefoot Bruno flavor is coming your way now.
You're the marketing person. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Who? Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so great. I knew Jarhigo was going to lose his shit when he saw it.
So that's a product hero shot. For the next, for the folks at home, check your chapter art. You'll see all this and links to the full size imagery. The second in the trio of images is the magazine ad for said product.
Hold on. I just got to say this for all the folks at home and possibly Jarhigo. You have to zoom in on the photo and look at what it says underneath Barefoot Bruno because it's really great.
What is it?
It says feet, tomato, clam, wetness, dryness, and glass flavors.
I spent
So brilliant, man.
way too
Thank
much
you.
time on this.
That just, you know what, dude? That made my 2019 complete right there. That's the best gift.
You only got one of 3 pictures, my friend. All right, so the slightly improved magazine ad is coming your way now.
Dude, we have to send this to Bruce Willis.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Chad! Wow,
Seagram's Golden
that is-
Barefoot Bruno.
Okay.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And to go out with a bang. Oh, I'm not sure if you noticed the Nakatomi Tower in the background of the 6-pack, but it's in the back right-hand side.
I did.
Oh my God, I didn't notice that. That's so great.
Sprouting up out of the palm trees.
And for the brochure that accompanies a carton of limited edition Barefoot Bruno, Seagram's Golden Wine Coolers.
I can't wait. Oh my God. Here we go. Oh my God. That is amazing. Dude, Alan Rickman's face in the middle of the bottle is just priceless.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That is just incredible, man. The Bloody Mary, the cop cars. Bruce Willis is about to shoot the bottle. I love it. It is just.
Oh, he shot the bottle. There's like some broken glass. The bottle's got broken glass all over it.
I can see that now.
Dude, this needs to be the banner on the Facebook page, brother.
We can make that happen.
Oh, we are making that happen. That is just brilliant.
There's little Easter eggs sprinkled in here and there. But
Oh my.
Of course there is. This is a nerd show, dude.
I spent way too much time on this, but I'm really enjoyed making it.
I bet you're proud of it, too. You should be. It's great. I like the clam, tomato, lemon combo on the bottle, right underneath Hans Gruber.
Yeah, totally, man. Well, we had to get the Clamato kind of thing going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love the prevalence of the clam. It's like the foremost thing in the shot.
Me too. And I love how the Nakatomi Tower is just like, it's just there, man. It's everywhere.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy that. And the Bruce Miss holiday is fantastic. And the Reddit thread's really worth reading. And there's a YouTube reaction of the guy getting the gift. And there's a whole bunch of great stuff, including like an update from the guy with a list of the gifts that they've sent each other over the years. So I definitely think it's in keeping with in this episode, Everybody Dies. And if we can get ourselves and our listenership involved in like helping to boost the awareness of Brucemas and turn it into an annual tradition where we send each other stupid Bruce Willis gifts, I am so on board.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm with that, man. I like that.
I can't wait to celebrate Brucemas.
I know.
I can't wait for our Brucemas spectacular.
Mm.
Ah, the Brucemas Spectacular. Wow, I love that.
Yeah, I'm getting right to work on writing some Brucemas carols.
Oh, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
Nice, dude. Yes. Brucemas carols. I love it. I mean, it's so perfect. You know, the thing about Bruce Willis is that Seagram, golden wine cooler, Seagrams, golden wine coolers.
It's wet and it's dry. So good.
Good times, man. Love it.
It's wet and it's dry.
Absolutely love it, dude. I think I'm going to have to craft some sort of, I'm feeling like doing a remake of an old Seagram's ad utilizing Barefoot Bruno, and I will play Bruno in the ad.
I'm down, man. That should definitely be made to happen.
That'll be my Christmas gift to you guys for next year.
You got to do the like balding Bruno head shave and all that stuff, like method act the hell out of it.
Don't even worry about that. I know how to dial it in.
I love it. Well, I am so thankful that you guys are on board. I never had a doubt, but Brucemas is now official for us.
Oh God, yeah. That is just great, man. And those pictures were just fantastic, Chad. Thank you so much for putting the time into doing that.
Yeah.
No worries. I loved it.
It is just spectacular.
Freaking brilliant. I would say, I think too, like you're sort of honing in on one of the definitely one of my favorite funny things that's come out of our various conversations on the show this year is just the whole Bruce Willis thing.
No, for sure.
And Barefoot Bruno is just brilliant, man. I'm so glad I took a second to snap that picture of the Seagrams I saw in Costco a few weeks ago.
Oh, me too.
That really set the whole thing off.
Oh, 100%.
So, at any rate, are we done? Do we want to wrap this up? Do you want to rate it and wrap it?
Rate it and wrap it.
Rate it.
It's kind of a joke, but now I feel like it's more like my death.
No, you're dead.
All right, so let's recap the deaths at least. My God.
Yeah. I died with my M16 Carl Urban joke, which,
Yeah, that was...
I regret. I'm ashamed of myself a little bit, but I still kind of think it was a decent joke.
I chuckled at it. You just didn't hear. Yeah.
It was pretty good. My death would be right there. Rate it and wrap it.
Yeah, you died a second ago. Benny, I don't think you died, man. Nice work. Well, now you did.
Yeah, you just died right there.
I just died there. I don't know. Maybe the closest would be trying to pronounce the author of The Witcher's name.
Yeah, no, that was
yeah, okay.
Death, yeah.
Was that his death, Chad? Was that
It was. I'm stoked that you chose to give it a whirl, but yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
you were kind of like rolling down like a mountainside with a lot of rocks right there in that moment. That's how that felt to me.
Yeah, that's how it felt to me too.
Yeah, I really like doing this. This is really good. I like doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, too, for the folks at home, we're going to be doing some different things coming up. We have a science fiction book that we wanted to talk about. We don't know how exactly we're going to tackle that, but we want to throw that in there. And we're always open to suggestions as well. And we've already got plenty of people doing just that.
Yeah. And nothing's off limits either.
Yeah, nothing's off limits. Also, I think at this point, I would like to mention something important for all the people out there, whether you're a fan or not. I don't know if you heard this or not. It was pretty big news. The drummer for Rush, he was also the lyricist, Neil Peart, passed away this week of brain cancer that he had been fighting for a long time. And Jarhigo and I are just huge Rush fans. And we were deeply saddened by that. And we are going to put together an extra show for everybody coming up, just talking about Neil and his life and some of the great things that he was able to accomplish. So look out for that in the next week or so. Algorithm, what do we have for next week? I mean, I just mentioned the Neil Peart sort of tribute that Jarhigo and I are going to do.
Yeah, we'll release that as kind of a special episode. So as soon as it's ready, we'll get it out to you. It may be the next episode you hear, or it may be the one after that, depending on how things go. But for the next show on our schedule is Benny's throwback, So Bad It's Good, even though it's not even that bad, it's kind of good. Inner Space. Great movie.
Ooh.
Classic movie.
I've seen that movie so many times. I can't wait to watch it again.
I haven't seen that movie in 20 years, but I have seen it dozens of times.
So good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk about it.
Okay, so again, guys, great year. Love doing the show with you both, and great episode. Really enjoyed sort of talking about these favorite things of ours and reminiscing a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So from me to you, to all of us, from all of us to all of you, so long, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Smell you later.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Next week, we're going to be talking about the Tuck Pendleton machine known as Inner Space. You can find the show notes for today's episode in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/38. You can shoot us questions using the Twitter hashtag AskEBD. You can find me at Molverine on Twitter. That's MOHLVERINE. Chad is at Chad Normal on Twitter. Ben is at Jarhigo on Twitter. That's JARHEEGO. I'd like to take a minute and thank everybody so much for tuning into the show. It means loads to all of us. And if you'd like to support the show, there are great ways you can do it. First, you can rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast muffins. You can also tell someone to check out the show. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful and incredibly effective. So get out there and start a talking. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time.